So, as you can see in the title, I sustained a little injury last week, and injuries have been the bane of my existence for really as long as I can remember. As a senior in high school, I dealt with turf toe, with torn hamstring, terrible back spasms, tons of sprained ankles, and a dislocated finger. Again, that was all during my senior year, and I still made all district in football, earning scholarship offers. I was the lead scorer of my basketball team, averaging 17 points a game, and I was the man on the track team. I ran the 4x1, the 4x2, the 4x4, long jump, high jump, and the triple jump. This is all without trainers or any of that stuff, just me getting it in. Come to think about it, maybe I should have set my ass down somewhere and focused on one sport and maybe injury prevention. Wish I would have had a trainer or some coach to tell me that, but hindsight is 2020. Anyway, the hamstring tear that I mentioned earlier was the last injury of my high school days. It happened toward the end of my senior year during track season, only a few months before I was set to go to college to play wide receiver. I remember having like a knot in my leg that whole week of practice, like my body just warning me to lay off. But I didn't want to let the team down. I coasted through practice the whole week, you know what I mean, kind of limping and just dealing with it. I told my coach about it. I got like a deep tissue massage, if you will. None of that got rid of it, but I was able to avoid further injury, that whole week of practice. Of course, as soon as the meet started, I opened up and my leg, boom, popped. I fell down on the track, and honestly, I was never the same because I got out of shape for the first time. I gained like 10-15 pounds during that time, and I didn't let my leg heal properly before I got back on the field, because again, I'm going to college and I'm trying to run full speed after sitting on my ass for a month and a half, 2 months, you know what I'm saying? It made for a rough transition. It was a grade 3 tear, and it lingered and really messed with me throughout college. Basically, what would happen is, without me knowing, I'd put a whole bunch of pressure on my other leg and I end up straining or kind of tweaking that hamstring. Then I'll think I got that situation figured out, only to tear my left hamstring again. I probably got hella scar tissue right there that makes it weak and tear easily now. That's what I'm assuming, but of course I'm not sure. Anyway, my point is, the problem has never really gone away fully. Today, I'm 31 years old, and over the past few months, I really have gotten myself into the best shape I've been in since those college days. And I've been pretty much hooping, playing basketball every day for fun and to stay in shape. I figure that's the best way to maintain myself, with fun, functional exercise. That way I could beat my son in one-on-one in about 10 years or so when he's 13. I've probably got myself back in a prime shape maybe 4 different times since college, but literally, no joke, no exaggeration, every single time I ramp my intensity up slowly, and I always end up back in the same place, on injured reserve. The injury? Usually a hamstring tear. I don't know, maybe I don't eat enough vegetables, man. That's why I've gotten a lot more health conscious as I've gotten older. I pay attention to what I'm putting in my body, try to get my nutrients in. That way I got all the fuel I need to be able to perform and hopefully not get injured. And while it has worked for a pretty long time, it still caught up with me. Now, I've been building up the muscles in my legs slowly for about 5 months, and every couple weeks I'll go a little bit harder, then I'll go a little bit harder. And to keep it a buck with you, I've been busting dudes' ass for months now, but they don't realize they're only facing like 60% of me. Then 65% of me the next 2 weeks when they see me. They see me another 2 weeks, now that's 70%. I never quite got up to 100, but when I stopped, I was probably up to about 80%. I was feeling pretty damn good. When I honestly go through a pretty extensive warm-up before I play. Like, before I even leave my house, I foam roll. I go through several stretches that would look kind of crazy if I was doing them in the gym. I do some strengthening exercises and things like that. Then I go to the gym. Once I get there, I go through like a 10-minute warm-up session. Basically what you would see at the beginning of any football practice or basketball practice, whatever like that. It's something similar to that. Takes about 10 minutes, warm up my body, and basically take every precaution, bro. Still. The other day, dude reaches in trying to ironically steal the ball. No haps, of course, but I accelerate and I kind of trip over his foot as he steps in. Doesn't really matter. I'm athletic enough. I just kind of stumble, put my hand down, never lose my dribble, go right on past the dude. But this time, when I put my hand down and planted off that left leg to go ahead and explode up out of there, Bam. System overload. My leg pops. Again, that same feeling from high school. This isn't a tweak. It's not a strain. This is a tear. I know immediately because, again, I've had all of these injuries multiple times. I knew right from the jump, nope, this is the big one. And, that sucks. And it's crazy because I've never pulled a hamstring in basketball. I've only ever pulled it in football and in track. So, now I pretty much have hit the trifecta. I've done this move hundreds of times before, but on this day, with no warning, despite the fact that I did warm up, pop, hammy, torn. At that point, I used my adrenaline to limp off the court, limp back to my car, get home, and a few minutes later, after making it to the crib, couldn't walk. Now I'm out for an estimated 4 to 8 weeks. In the past, I've been discouraged by these injuries, man. I kind of wallow in self-pity and eat a whole bunch of terrible food for comfort. And when I do finally heal, I've just extended the process of how long it's going to take for me to get back out there. You know what I'm saying? And even when I do get back out there, now I've gained 10 pounds and haven't done anything to at least try to keep my cardio decent during the time that I was out. And then it's like starting all the way over from scratch, which only end up putting more pressure on the hamstring and compromise other muscles and put you in position to get other injuries. You know what I'm saying? Really dumb way to approach it. This time, because I've been there, done that, this time is going to be different. This time I've come up with a plan to maintain my body throughout the injury, a way that I can come back even stronger than I was when I went down in the first place.